let me begin today by asking a few questions. Who here loves to study? Just a few of you. All right. Who here loves learning new things about themselves every day? All right, that's good. The thesis of my talk today is for everybody here to clearly understand the different learning styles. And I'm good with this information because I was able to help my entire classmates identify their learning styles, and now they approach studying differently. What is your learning style? Quite a bit of us here don't like studying, and the reason being is because we don't know how to. By identifying your learning style, you're able to approach studying more and be more comfortable and even make studying fun. Today, we're going to look at the significance of learning styles, tools for identifying your learning style, and also the three different types of learning styles: the visual, the auditory, and the tactile learners. But first, the significance. Each person here is unique. Everybody's different. Nobody's the same. And the difference among us is the different way we interact with new information, where we intake information. And with that difference, it also shows the difference in behavior and performance in class. Okay? Now, the central idea here is for everyone to identify their learning style. So today, we're going to take it back for a bit. I want you to think of the last time you were at a lecture, probably a setting like this, maybe even the speaker before me. I want you to think about your stature. How are you sitting down? Are you sitting upright? Are you being upright and attentive? Slouching in the chair with a big, vague, bored expression? Or are you wandering around like, what am I doing here? What are you doing? Are you paying attention to the speaker? Or your mind is like, what am I doing here? Are you being bored? How to respond to the new information that's given? Do you write them down furiously, or do you doodle, like just dropping down key points, important words and information? Do you ask questions? If you're asking questions, are they for additional facts or just for clarifications? Letting the speaker repeat himself over and over so that the information sticks. And do you revisit the content after the speech is given? Do you play it back in your mind, or do you go over your notes that you just doodled? All right? Now with that, let's now go into the different types of learning styles. The first is the auditory learners, or independent learners. Now these people are very competitive. They must finish first. Their work must be perfect, and they gotta be on top. They're very memory-oriented, also reflective. You can tell them something today, and 3 months later they will remember. Now these are the people who will be writing down furiously during the last lecture, trying to get word for word everything down. Also asking questions for clarification. Strategies these people may take while studying is that they interact with information orally. They read loud enough so that they can hear themselves. That way the information will stick to them. They request oral repetitions in class. Let the speaker repeat themselves over and over. That way they get that information. And they expand on topics. They don't just rely on what the textbook says. They research. They broaden the topics. That way they gather more information and have a clear understanding on what they're studying. Let's transition over to the visual learners. Now these people, they interact with new information visually. All right? They're very font sensitive. As you can see here, font sensitive. That might be the only thing they remember from this speech because of the different shape and size and color of the words. All right? Now these are the people who will just doodle, like jot down notes while that lecture is given. Some strategy they may take while studying is that they use diagrams and charts, colorful diagrams and charts. That way they remember what they see. Answer questions in writing. They write a lot. These people have neat penmanship. That way they always remember what they write. And add visual aids. Be creative when you're writing. Add art. Use different colored ink pens. Different size in words. Highlight the words. That way they remember the key points. And by remembering these key points, the information sticks in their head. Let's transition over to the tactile learner. Now, these people must be actively engaged. Hands-on learning. They learn by doing. All right? And they also got to keep moving. Now these people, while in their last lecture, they don't just sit down. They move around in the chair, kick their feet, play with their thumbs, looking all around the place, all right? Now, strategies these people may take while learning is that they interact a lot with demonstrations, all right? They see something being done, and they gotta do it themselves immediately. They need direct contact. While fixing something, they gotta fix it themselves. When they mess up, they learn from that. Do it over again until they get it right. That way, they're actually teaching themselves. All right? Very important. According to the Learning Styles Perspective, second edition, auditory skill learners are more likely to succeed. But that's just for classroom setting. It is possible for students with visual or tactile learning styles to perform just as well. It's just up to the professors now. It's up to them to implement new methods in their teaching. Add visual aids, add charts, diagrams, colorful ones. Those will appeal to the visual learners. And also ask for volunteers to solve problems on the board. Form small groups in classrooms. Those will attract the tactile learners. That way everybody will succeed in the classroom. Let's review. Today we looked at the significance of learning styles, tools for identifying your learning styles, and the three different types of learning styles, the visual, the auditory, and the tactile. In conclusion, I would like to quote Mr. Michael Spinks, manager of the Learning Center here in Northampton. In my interview with him, he said, understanding your different learning styles and adapting to the appropriate situation is essential for great college success, and more importantly, an essential life skill. All right? And my final statement today is, it is fascinating to identify your learning style, because now you can actually make studying fun. And I thank you.